The first thing I noticed is that nobody wore any shoes, and everyone spoke like trumpets and walked around in twos. And the utter nonsense of today, the soundtrack of a circus tune, and all cats ran backwards and someone took a bite out of the moon. And then the sounding of a horn and everyone lay on the ground, and all bird flight turned upside down and an eerie screeching sound. And our trumpet voices changed and evolved into a bellow. A giant baby appeared on the scene, dripping spoonfuls of jello. And then there was raspberries and baby sick and giant silver balloons, chocolate cake and rubber candles and blue and red cartoons. And then a swirling tornado of spaghetti and ancient beards. And we all sank into pools of custard. This day of the year was weird. Oh, the fallout from the night before, the mess left in the kitchen, where swollen heads don't see so clear and vacant minds are left itching. I just spent an hour watching a pigeon clean itself. Last night's rain drips away, I stare outside, pause, oh my poor health. The heavy head, the sunken eyes, postpone today, the hangover cries. Then memories start flooding back and are triggered by the mess. The tidy-up's a bummer, I won't even get dressed. So do you write off the day ahead as you spend most of it horizontal? No, get up, get active, get busy living. This isn't accidental. The ability to write, to transfer what's inside outside, and express fact or fiction like the ebb and flow of a tide. Imagine imagination without an outlet, or a set of instructions which couldn't be repeated again. No such things as books and computers, brushes, pencils and pens. And then there's the magic of words, description on a grand scale. Describe how you're feeling or how you lived through a fairy tale. And there would be no news or the truth to report, how the war ended or in which order to sort. So for me English is important, but good handwriting is not. Punctuation and grammar and spelling, well, I forgot. It's the freedom to write and develop your own natural flow. Discover a love for words and let your penmanship go. When you lie all the time, you'll start to live that lie, and you'll become very good at it as each day goes by. And in the early days, when you would get caught out, as your stories were delivered with a hint of doubt, now the more you lie, neural pathways are built, avenues of escape routes constructed to hide the guilt. Intellect becomes camouflage as bullshit baffles brains, and an air of confidence shows no restraints. And in the end, it's only you that will fall to what's been said. You're only lying to yourself, trapped inside the lie as it's spread. Running through a meadow, wild flowers in the breeze, a skylark on high, I take a rest on my knees. A nearby stream trickles over stones. Rabbits in my eyeline disappear into their hedgerow homes. On my feet again, I push on through the long grass, to the sound of crickets, who jump erratically as I pass. And as I reach a gate, that takes me to a small wood. The floor is blue with bells, stay and soak it up, I wish I could. But I must push on, my own heartbeat now drumming in my ears, as the natural sounds become muffled and my path becomes blurred through my tears. Now the other side of the wood, there lays a hillside in the sun. A few yards from the tree line stands a single tree. I can no longer run. It's hard to keep running with a gunshot wound. As I nestle into the roots of the tree, I smile. With the sun on my face, I've lost a lot of blood. I think I'll just wait here a while. Books with pages full of words, a spine that bends the reader that's not heard. A book can be so personal, your take different from somebody else. A testament of your imagination, what you visualise sits on no shelf. Fact or fiction, the forming of pictures in your mind, based on your experiences and the outtakes that you find. A description can mean different things to different people a story brings. And the reader is unique. He takes words and builds a sight only he sees, and feelings only he feels. Oh, he singles us out one at a time, so we're stronger when we work together. And we don't rest for his tax are increasing. He is smart, but we are clever. Some of us fall by the wayside, and some try to go it alone. Survivors seldom become heroes, and arrogance is a house that's not a home. But two flames burn brighter than one, and 3 and 4 can become a fire. And with an increase in togetherness, our civilization will build higher. So the next time the squid attacks us, our defence is this mighty structure. Pieced together like a pyramid, working as a team, we have a future. Using natural energies makes a whole lot of sense to me, with no detriment to the planet where living could be free, with solar and wind and even the sea, or we could stop draining our earth and use what happens naturally. Although the trouble then comes when you convert it to money, and people get greedy and profits go back to a company. People should be able to power themselves economically, become self-sufficient and live through energies. And we don't need oil and gas, and he who holds the monopoly, God knows what they're going to do when they figure out the greatest energy is gravity. Oh, If my life were a storyboard and I was a character in a scene, which personality would I choose? As it unfolded, how would I be seen? A hero or a villain? A king or a queen? A beggar or a victim? Or someone in between? A liar or a cheat? A scoundrel or a thief? A saint or an angel? A Morris or a Keith? A do-gooder or a good doer? Or maybe just a child? Or maybe a nutter in an asylum? Crazy and insane and wild? A vicar or a priest? Maybe an animal or a beast? A soldier, a doctor, a pilot? Even a zombie that's deceased, but seldom yourself. When you lie all the time, you will yeah, you'll be fucking lying to yourself all the time. And in the early days, you will get caught out. You would get caught out. In the early days, you'd get caught out. That will fall to what's been said. For you're living. You're only lying to yourself. And in the end, it's only you that will fall to what's been said. You're when you lie all the time, it will you doubt. Now the more you lie, you're a pathway, neuro, or a set of instructions which couldn't. Keith, a do-gooder or a do-gooder, or a do-gooder, or a good doer. Touch can be seen, and hearing, wow, it joins. Take it back. You are the strength. You are bold. Full of others, working together becomes the together we work. Being around being of others in common sense, others are happy to follow. Together. We don't rest. We don't rest at all. Arrogance is a horse. It's a horse. It's a house without a home. That's not a home. And with the increase in togetherness, our civilization. The first thing I noticed is